Look out your window. Everything seems solid, right? The mountains, the seas, they feel eternal. But what if I told you the world you know is built on the ruins of endless catastrophes?
That your home, your climate, and even your history were violently reset by moments of pure geological terror? Earth is not a static rock. It's a battlefield.
Today, we're peeling back the layers of time to reveal 6 colossal events, 6 cataclysms that didn't just change the planet, but completely redefined existence itself. The year is 66 million years ago. Imagine the Cretaceous period, a world ruled by titans. They had no idea that their entire kingdom, their lineage, was about to end in a blinding flash. It wasn't a warning, it was instant annihilation. An asteroid, the size of a city, 10 kilometers wide, slammed into the Yucatan Peninsula. The energy released was more than every nuclear weapon on Earth combined. The impact site was vaporized, replaced by a plume of superheated rock and fire that shot into space. First came the heat pulse, igniting global firestorms. Then, mile-high tsunamis. But the true killer was the atmospheric darkness. That debris blocked the sun for years, initiating an impact winter. Photosynthesis stopped, plants died, herbivores starved, and the greatest predators the world has ever known, the non-avian dinosaurs, simply faded into the cold, agonizing dark. The result? 3/4 of all life died. This wasn't just an extinction, it was a cosmic cleansing. This terrifying moment is precisely why we exist. It didn't just end the dinosaurs, it delivered the planet into the waiting paws of the mammals. It was the end of one world and the chaotic birth of ours. If the asteroid was a sudden execution, our next event was a slow, agonizing suffocation that lasted for 1 million years. We travel back to 252 million years ago, to the Permian era. This wasn't a single volcano. It was a planetary wound. The Siberian traps unleashed a flood of basalt, lava flows that covered an area the size of an entire continent. The atmosphere wasn't just filled with ash, it was saturated with lethal volumes of greenhouse gases, carbon dioxide and sulfur dioxide. The carbon dioxide triggered extreme global warming, baking the planet. But the sulfur dioxide created acid rain, washing corrosive chemicals into the oceans. The oceans themselves began to lose oxygen, a process called anoxia. Can you imagine the entire global ocean choked of breath? This was the Great Dying. 90% of all marine life vanished. Every single organism alive today is a descendant of the 10% that somehow endured that chemical hellscape. The Siberian traps are the ultimate testament to volcanic power. They didn't just shape the land, they nearly destroyed the blueprint of life itself. Not all cataclysms involve explosions. Sometimes, the most profound changes are the quiet ones. Around 3 to 4.5 million years ago, volcanic activity in Central America finally completed the Isthmus of Panama, linking North and South America. Two isolated worlds connected. Ancestors of llamas and raccoons migrated south. Armadillos and giant ground sloths marched north. But the tectonic block also rerouted the global conveyor belt. The warm Atlantic current, now unable to escape into the Pacific, was forced northward, turbocharging the Gulf Stream. That intense flow delivered massive moisture and heat to the Arctic region. The result? That moisture fell as snow, building the colossal ice sheets that we call the Northern Hemisphere ice ages. A tiny sliver of land in the tropics changed the way heat was distributed globally, and may be the very reason why the northern half of our planet is currently locked in cycles of freezing and thawing. We jump forward to 12,900 years ago. The planet was warming, the last great ice age was ending. Humanity was taking its first steps toward agriculture. Then, disaster struck. Temperatures suddenly, violently, plunged back into glacial cold for over 1,000 years, a period called the Younger Dryas. Why? The leading theory suggests a fragmented comet caused an airburst over the massive Laurentide ice sheet. The heat from this impact would have instantly melted unimaginable amounts of ice. All that cold, fresh water poured into the Atlantic, acting like a giant global switch. It diluted the salty, warm water that powers the ocean conveyor belt, the crucial system that keeps the northern hemisphere warm. The conveyor stalled. The consequences were rapid and lethal. Megafauna like the woolly mammoth vanished almost overnight. Early human cultures were thrown into chaos. This event is a shocking testament to Earth's volatility, proving that global climate can be entirely reset within a single human lifetime. Let's talk about power you can comprehend. August 1883, the Sunda Strait, Indonesia. The eruption of Krakatoa was so loud it ruptured eardrums thousands of miles away. It holds the record for the loudest sound ever heard by man. This wasn't just noise. The climactic explosion was so immense it caused the entire volcanic island to physically disintegrate, replaced by a massive undersea crater. The geometry of the Earth in this region was permanently scarred. But the real killer was the water. The collapse generated gigantic tsunamis, some reaching higher than a 10-story building, which slammed into the coastlines of Java and Sumatra, killing over 36,000 people. Even the sky was changed. Fine ash and dust entered the stratosphere, circling the planet for years. People in London, New York, and Paris witnessed sunsets of impossibly vivid red and orange. Krakatoa was a chilling demonstration of how quickly a natural disaster can rearrange global geography and mark the sky itself. Finally, we come to a disaster that proved a single mountain in Southeast Asia could dictate life, death, and literature across Europe. The 1815 eruption of Mount Tambora, also in Indonesia, was the most powerful volcanic event ever recorded by modern humans. Tambora violently injected a monumental cloud of sulfate aerosols, sulfur particles, into the stratosphere. This acted as a highly efficient global sun shield, dramatically cooling the entire planet. The result, in 1816, the year without a summer. Global temperatures dropped by nearly 1.5 degrees Celsius. Crops failed across North America and Europe. People ate their seed grain just to survive. Famine swept continents, triggering mass migrations and economic collapse. This terrible freezing summer is even credited with inspiring Mary Shelley to write her famous horror novel, Frankenstein.